welcome back to another episode of Heels Up. I am Vlad St. Valentine, and here today review Smackdown from 9/18/2020. Got a very special co-host with me. We dragged Caidan out of the production side over here to co-host. How you doing, Bubba?
I'm doing all right, man. I'm doing all right.
Fair enough. Ready to get into some Smackdown?
I am. Let's do it.
All right, let's do it. Oh yeah, Reggie couldn't be with it. Apparently, his kid gave another kid an RKO or something like that at daycare. Like put him right through a table. Like it was bad, man. Like the teacher called and said like he found some lighter fluid in a match. She doesn't know where he got it from. Pulled it out of his diaper and just lit the table on fire and put him right through it.
Yeah, started yelling for Devon. No idea.
Yeah, it was freaky. So, hopefully Reg gets that whole situation cleared up by Monday so he can come back and join us. So over the night with the dirt sheet, Miz and Morrison are out there, and Miz claims credit for getting Mandy moved over to Raw and says he did it just to help, Otis be able to focus because Mandy was a distraction. And, he says Otis needs to move on. And from what he hears, from the guys over on Raw, Mandy certainly moved on. Like implying that she's sleeping her way through the Raw roster, which I'm like, Miz, man, this ain't the Attitude Era, homie. I don't think you can say that crap anymore.
Yeah.
That was a little tasteless, I think. So might have been a little out of time on that one. But Otis doesn't take it for very long, comes out there and just starts beating the dog piss out of both of them. Miz tries to bail. Tucker comes in from the back and throws his ass back in there, strip him down to his tighty-whities, send him packing after, a caterpillar and a Vader bomb. So after the commercial break, they're interviewing Miz and Morrison backstage, and Miz is there holding all of his, all of his clothes in his hands, still sitting there in his tidy whities, which when he was leaving, up the ramp, he was covering up his butt and his crotch, which unless he's got skid marks to hide, he's not showing anything he doesn't show in his wrestling gear, really.
Yeah.
Except for, I guess, his knees.
I do like Morrison, though, because he took his jacket, he's trying to hide it. So he played into it a little bit.
God bless Morrison. They're comedic geniuses,
yes.
Like I say. So the interviewer asked Miz and Morrison why they would, provoke Otis in such a way. And Miz takes a phone call, which I guess was from his lawyer. And it's like, did you see it? Was it enough? All right, good. And, him and Morrison say they have a plan and they're not going to tell her. And they just kind of fuck off after that point.
Yep.
So after that, we get Grand Metalik taking on Cesaro. And again, they're playing up the division between Lindsay and Kalisto specifically. Shows them kind of arguing backstage earlier in the day, trying to give Grand Metalik a little bit of advice going into the match against Cesaro. And even during the match, they're both kind of fighting with each other to give Grand Metalik a little bit of advice and end up just causing distractions and, getting him hurt by, Cesaro a couple of times to the point where they're arguing on the outside and they're trying to get on the apron and causes the ref to kick them both from ringside, which puts Grand Metalik, I would say, at a disadvantage because he's now on a 2-1 situation because, you have to worry about Shinsuke on the outside because he does get involved a little bit.
Yeah.
But I don't guess he's probably better off than with, his buddies acting like jackasses on the side. So
yeah, at least Shinsuke is sly about it, He didn't get caught.
So after Lindsay and Kalisto are sent backstage, we go to commercial, we come back, and Grand Metalik does all right, but ultimately he does, he goes for a moonsault to the top rope. Cesaro gets his feet up, hits him with just 2 boots right in the damn jaw. Running European uppercut in the corner, followed by the neutralizer 1, 2, 3. Cesaro picks up the victory for Grand Metalik. And Grant was actually holding his own against Cesaro in this match, doing pretty good. It was just one too many distractions. And then, those high flying moves, of course, as they always say, come with a lot of risks. So burn your chances way too early on in the match, and your buddies are fucking it up for you.
Yeah, now they're going to have to deal with that during the Clash of Champions match, which was announced after the match.
Yeah, we're going to have Cesaro and Sheamus taking on, I keep doing it. We're going to have Cesaro and Shinsuke taking on, did I do that earlier already?
I don't remember.
See, I'm going to go back and we're going to be cutting this together. And there's going to be a Cesaro and Sheamus in there that I didn't catch.
No, just do what I did with you when you said Bray and it was Braun. And I just put the picture of Braun.
I did that to myself too. Yeah, I did that several. Guys, I can't even blame it on alcohol now. I haven't even been drinking. I just can't talk. This moves faster than this can. And it's unfortunate jumble of mixed analogies and half words. And bullshit like that. So Cesaro gets the victory. We find out we're gonna get Cesaro and Shinsuke taking on the Lucha House Party for the tag team titles at Clash of Champions. We know which members of the Lucha House Party it's gonna be.
Probably Metalik and Kalisto.
Makes the most sense. Yeah. Are they
Right.
do they do the Freebird rules with them?
Yeah, they're doing the Freebird rules, but with what Lindsay posted recently on his Instagram, you don't know.
Oh yeah, the maybe having to change the character because they don't own the rights to it, sort of thing.
Yeah, he posted his mask and just said goodbye. No word on whether or not his contract is up or whatever.
They'll just change it to like Lynn Say El
They did,
Dorado or something. You know
they
what I
did
mean?
with Pentagon.
Well, it's like yeah, L.A. Park. You know,
Yeah,
instead of La Park. I like just little things.
yeah.
Who owns the rights to it? Like, do you
I'm
have
not
any
sure.
idea? Caidan, can you look at? Oh, see, you see
It's not my fault. I'm not teaching my kids how to wrestle.
how did 3D children through other tables and stuff?
The plastic tables, little
Yeah.
coloring.
Somehow, some way, Lindsay and Kalisto are going to blow this for him because I don't see
Yeah.
them getting rid of Shinsuke and Cesaro as the champions just yet. So after this, we had a backstage interview with Jey Uso, who says that Paul Heyman told him that the reason, Roman didn't come out to the match on time was just because of miscommunication, but Jay goes into how they're going to have a, was it Samoan street fight
Samoan street fight.
between Roman and Jay versus Sheamus and Baron Corbin. And can you tell me what exactly makes it a Samoan street fight?
Because there are two Samoans in it. You know Vince. Vince lays all his cards out on the table.
And all of his cards are super fucking racist, apparently. So next up, we're gonna get the moment of bliss with Nikki Cross as a special guest. Alexa wants to, talk to her now that she's got the number one contender, spot. She's gonna face Bailey. And before she gets out there, Cole apparently either I don't know if this was something we just didn't pick up on and they were just clearing it up for us, if they were just kind of retconning a little bit of
I think it was more retcon than anything.
a little bit of a retconning the storyline here, but they were saying that Cole was like, as soon as we said the word fiend last week, that's when Alexa went into her trance. I didn't notice that, but I'll have to go back and watch to be sure.
Yeah.
But apparently word, saying the fiend is what's triggering Alexa to go into her trance and attack people. But Alexa's acting like everything's fine and dandy, and but she asks the hard question to Nikki, what's Nikki's plan for facing Bailey? Because she hasn't been able to beat her yet. So she's being a little, just a little catty, just under the surface, but she's keeping it pretty pleasant. It's just those little thorns are just showing through here and there.
I mean, to be fair, they did do it to other guests as well. So she is keeping on brand.
Fair enough. But Nikki says, she doesn't have to worry about Sasha. She doesn't have to worry about looking over her shoulder this time around, and she's going to beat Bailey, blah, 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 blah. But ultimately, she gets around to, asking Alexa, she's worried about Alexa. She hit her with this, of all the moves she could have hit her with, she wasn't mad that she hit her with a move. They're in a match against each other.
Yeah.
She wasn't upset about that. She wasn't even upset at all about that. She was just freaked out that she got hit with the Sister Abigail. She's like, all the things you could have hit me with, why that? And, and Alexa actually, surprisingly enough, kind of acknowledges it by saying, I feel like I'm changing and I don't even understand it. So I can't explain it, But I was surprised she would acknowledge it. So going, what are you talking about? I don't remember that.
Yeah, if they were going to play it as a trance, she would have been like unknown.
But she is acknowledging that there's a change coming over her and something that she can't even understand. And I hope it's not like everyone else who faces the fiend who just gets changed and goes off and does their own weird fucking thing. Like, I hope that Alexa actually gets tied in with Bray.
Yeah.
But as we think, we're going to get a little bit more of an explanation out of Alexa Bliss. Lacey Evans interrupts, and I love me some Lacey Evans, but I'm loving the storyline with, Alexa, and I've never been less happy to see Lacey Evans. I wanted her to keep talking. I wanted to keep getting more of this storyline going on, which God bless Cole. After this, we're going to get Nikki and Lacey, and Alexa's going to join them on commentary. And Cole does keep, kind of keep trying to push the questions and ask and really dig at her, especially as Alexa starts becoming less and less receptive to the questions and
Yeah.
kind of pushing them off a little bit more. But before we get into that, Lacey comes out there and basically calls him trash and calls him dirty and does her going back to her earlier, shtick. I guess the whole face thing was just because they needed a face for a couple of months and didn't know if they had anyone lying around. So they
Yeah.
just flipped her back real quick. Come on. Like you couldn't gone that heavy with her. She's the Marine mom and stuff. And then expect like us to just flip back on her. Like, come on, man. Like if you're gonna rile up our jingoism and our patriotism, come on, you can't expect it to be turned off this easily. But she calls her a bunch of trashy names and she tells Nikki that she's not mean enough to beat Bailey. She doesn't have a mean streak, which I'm like, she was the one who was in like Sanity. Like
Yeah.
between the two of them, I'm pretty sure Nikki's a lot meaner than Bailey, or has the potential to be a lot meaner than Bailey. Like she's the crazy nutter. Like that was the whole character anyway. Unhinged.
Yeah.
But she's like, you're too short, you're too weak, you're not tough enough, you don't have a mean streak, you'll never do this, blah, 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 blah. And then Nikki takes her hanky and blows her nose in it, and they start fighting on the ramp a little bit. And we go to commercial, and we come back. That's when we got our Nikki versus Lacey Evans match, which starting out, this was all Lacey. She works Nikki over pretty early on, and for them, go a long way through the match, but honestly, we weren't really paying much attention to the match. I was mostly listening to Cole trying to question Alexa and get more out of her about the Fiend thing, but she kind of stonewalls him and doesn't really give us much more tonight as far as progressing the storyline goes.
Yeah.
Lacey's working Nikki over pretty well early on, and eventually she goes out and grabs a thing of hand sanitizer.
It's in her purse.
Yeah, a giant. Like I thought it was like the way it looked. I thought it was one of those cheap bottles of vodka your aunt keeps in her purse, but doesn't think anyone knows she keeps in her purse. You know who you are.
Not the tiny ones.
Like the old Crow bottle that costs $5, but it's in that giant plastic mouthwash bottle, like one of those. Just look in your aunt's purse if you don't know what I'm talking about. I promise you it's there. But she pulls that out and like squirts it all over Nikki's face and like wipes her face down. And like, first of all, it's mostly alcohol. If it gets in her eyes, that's going to burn like hell. And second of all, how is that not a disqualification? That is a foreign object and it would burn your eyes like hell if it got in your eyes. Like, how is that not? Ref's just looking at it, well, come on, get that out of here. Cut it off. Like, most ineffectual damn ref ever.
I mean, CDC rules.
Like, oh, she's just in compliance. No, she's just sterilizing midway through the match.
No. We totally forgot to do this beforehand. It's fine.
Anyway, it makes absolutely no sense, but what are you going to do? That's the catalyst, though, for Nikki to get upset and have her come back. And eventually she hits that draping top rope spinning neck breaker thing. I don't know if she's got a name for it or not, but that's her secondary finishing move, with her primary finishing move being, of course, the roll up. So after the match, as Nikki celebrates, Lacey is like crawling on the outside towards the announce table, and she pulls herself on the announce table. She's like looking at Alex, like starts cussing her out, like, what are you staring at? You can get the Fiend to help you or something. Where's my purse? Give me my purse, you dirtbags. And of course, as soon as she says the word Fiend, it's it's the trigger word for the Manchurian Candidate over there.
At a flick of a switch, we can adjust character, change personality.
Alexis goes all blank, walks over. It's another beautiful Sister Abigail on Lacey, which, God bless Lacey for backbending that far, because Alexa's like 2 feet shorter than that woman is. But again, another just absolutely flawless Sister Abigail, and another trance moment. We'll keep building up on this. I'm really, really enjoying it. I'm hoping for, like, I don't necessarily need them to blow it off anytime soon. I mean, the slow burn is the slow burn. I would just kind of like another puzzle piece to it, a little bit more.
Yeah.
A little bit more. Let me learn something else to it.
Another couple of pages in the chapter.
Yeah.
Don't have to finish the chapter just yet. Just a couple more pages.
To finish the book. Just maybe finish this chapter. Like, whatever. Just give us a little more. Just a little more. George R. R. Martin, give us one chapter for a book that should have been out like 6 years ago. After the Lacey Evans and Nikki Cross fight, we go to commercial and we come back and we get this wonderful video package with Paul Heyman doing a voiceover talking about the legacy and the honor and the prestige of the Anoa family and especially Roman Reigns as the new and current tribal chief of the family
Mhm.
and the legacy, the torchbearer of the legacy, so to speak. It was damn good.
Yeah.
But Paul Heyman is typically damn good. So
Yeah. It was fantastic. The history behind all that and the way that he connected it all the way back to Jay.
yeah, put Jay got his due in there. Just made enough just to denigrate him just a little bit. He's like, he did all right with the help of his brother in the tag team division. But Roman
Yeah.
is the tribal chief. The one
And there's only
only.
one reigning, undisputed Universal Heavyweight Champion.
Oh, Paul, you loquacious butterball. We love you so much. After that, we get a Sasha Banks interview. She's there in the neck brace talking about what happened between her and Bailey. And she's choked up and she's emotional and she can barely get through this. She talks about, walking the halls and, coming up with Bailey. And you can tell she really cares about her and how it all meant. And it's like seeing other young girls doing this. It breaks her heart because now it just all of her memories just mean nothing because of, what Bailey said to her that she was playing her the entire time.
Yeah.
It basically ruins everything
That they did together.
yeah. Ruins all those memories. And then as soon as Sasha gets into her talk tough bit, and says Bailey was nothing without her. And, she should have realized that she's nothing without her. And now, Sasha's going to come for her title and take it from her because it's the only thing Bailey cares about. And as soon as she says that, Bailey comes out of nowhere and hits her with a chair from behind, rips the neck brace off, puts it around the chair around her neck again, doing a little stomp. But eventually the backstage crew runs her off.
Yep.
And gets her out of there.
I don't think it was Adam Pearce today, was it?
No, well, he was there today, but he ran off E later on.
Yeah.
But that was it. He wasn't back putting out every single fire in the backstage area this time. So
It's only a 2-hour show this time.
he's been on television 3 times. Now he's too important to do everything. And let it go to his head, man. Lackey first class. Now he has to send the lower grunts down to do his work for him.
He is more predominantly on Raw, though.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, it's a far drive from the Raw arena to the Smackdown arena.
2 different Thunderdomes. What?
Is it? No. It's just a color change. You flip a switch. Blue, red, done.
I was trying to prolong that joke.
You made me doubt myself for a little bit, and I got angry. Responded with hostility. Like any good red-blooded American. So after this, we get AJ Styles versus Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn comes out dressed like Comrade Zayn. What'd you call him? Sammy Guevara?
Yeah, Sammy Guevara.
That's funny. Yeah, he's got a
It's
Che
funny because
Guevara
he's an actual
look.
wrestler, too.
Yeah. I get it works on 2 levels. For those of you who don't know, what we're saying is he looks like Che Guevara. And because his first name is Sammy, we're taking his first name and then pairing that with the second name to make the name of a current wrestler. And thus, a pretty little funny, wordplay there.
See right here.
So yeah, the Sammy versus AJ match wasn't bad. When Sammy came out, of course, he goes and complains again about not being announced as the Intercontinental Champion. And AJ attacks him from behind, tosses him in the ring, and we get the match start off. Again, Sammy, Cesaro, like they can have a good match with anybody.
Yeah.
And they always there's never a time when they don't put on at least a good match. They never put on a bad match. They never put on a fair match. It's at least good to excellent.
Yeah.
And him and AJ were good tonight.
I actually thought that was going to end early with Hardy coming in to interfere, but no, we actually got a whole finish.
We did get a whole finish, but we still got one of the Manatee's favorite balls. At one point in time, Comrade Zayn tries to roll up AJ, but he's got a handful of tights, and the ref sees it. And then while he's arguing with the ref about it, AJ rolls him up and gets a handful of his combat pants and his fatigues. And the ref does not see that one, of course, and counts the 1, 2, 3. So Sammy is, bitching at her and yelling about it afterwards and ticked off. But after the match, Jeff Hardy comes out and attacks AJ and Sammy and just beats the dog piss out of both of them and brings a ladder out and just slams him around with both of them and Twist of Fate on Sammy, wasn't
On
it?
Sammy, yep.
Yeah, it gives Sammy Twist of Fate in the ring and sets the ladder up, and he's going to hit the Swanton, but Sammy covers in time and bails out. After that, Jeff gets to the mic and he's like, I'm sick of being called a fraud. I'm sick of this bullshit. We're going to have a triple threat ladder match at Clash of Champions for the IC title. Once and for all, get this thing out of the way, which this is exactly what we expected, except for we were calling TLC instead of a ladder match.
Yeah.
But
missed out on 2 letters.
well, when we established the TLC thing, it was all because those 3 different tag teams that were in the first TLC match all were kind of represented by a different weapon that they would use to attack their foes after matches and things like that. The Hardys were proficient with the ladders. The Dudley Boys would, of course, get the tables. And Edge and Christian were the master of the concerto.
Yep.
So those are your tables, ladders, and chairs. And if Jeff was going to pick one of them, it only stands the reason it's going to be the ladder.
Yeah.
But ladder match for the title, always fun. You don't have to pin someone to make them look bad. You get 3 high-flying guys who will, or not. I mean, I guess Sammy's kind of high-flying. He does a little bit over the top stuff, but he's not.
Yeah.
Not ridiculous about it.
No. But them running off ladders and ropes is going to be great.
All guys that can work a ring really, really well.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely looking forward to it. Actually, that might be one of the best matches of the night. Kind of think of it.
Might be a sleeper match.
Yeah. I can't wait for that one. Actually, I'm like that makes me more jazz for the night. Actually,
Yeah,
and about it.
It really just depends on how well the Cesaro and Shinsuke match goes.
Oh yeah, that one might be. Yeah, we get the Lucha House Party versus those two at a pay-per-view. The Lucha House Party's can go all out.
Yeah, if they get the time to do it. If they don't squash it
Well,
early.
they'll probably put them on the pre-show, won't they? You're right. Why do you hate the tag team titles so much? And seriously, just mash them up. Just mash them up. We only got one to worry about. 1 women, 1 men. Everything's equal.
Yeah. As much as I'd like to see Cesaro and Shinsuke and the Lucha House Party at the pay-per-view, I think Street Profits and Cesaro and Shinsuke would have been a better match for the unification.
Yeah.
Because at least we get a full match on the main card.
So after we get the announcement for the triple threat match, we go backstage with Otis and Tucker, and Otis gets served court papers. He's being sued by Miz and Morrison for breach of Money in the Bank.
Negligence?
Money in the Bank negligence, and what was the other one?
Violation of their First Amendment rights because the dirt sheet is a news source.
But they want him to relinquish the Money in the Bank contract by next week, or they're going to take him to court. So Tucker basically tells Otis he's in trouble and needs to lawyer up. This is Looney Tunes, and God bless him. It's fun. It's hilarious. The Miz and Morrison are ridiculous. Otis is ridiculous. Tucker's a great straight man to it all. I'm enjoying the bit. Keep it going.
Tucker's along for the ride, cashing that check.
Wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Happily.
Yeah, I ain't gotta take bumps. I just gotta stand here and be smart. All right, cool.
That was my Otis face. It's the best I got. So we cut to Corbin and Sheamus standing around backstage, and Corbin's talking about how much damage his dime store scepter is going to do in the match. When the backstage security guard who had lured E out to the beating last week showed up, and Sheamus was like, "Hey, you're the bloke who helped me. Yeah, I got you anything you need. Yeah." He's like, "Oh yeah, thanks about that. By the way, your car's being towed." And he leads Sheamus outside to where E's waiting for him, and E gets like a couple punches in before Sheamus books it. So I'm not sure whose side this guy is on, or maybe he just gets pressured into doing stuff, or maybe he just feels important when he helps somebody out. He's got no real loyalty.
He was late to work and didn't bring donuts, so that's his punishment. Vince was mad that week.
Yeah, pathetic. But so E takes his anger on that guy because he's like, you're the one who set me up last week. He beats the piss out of dude, puts him up on the roof, hits what's he put him through the windshield with? It was a belly to belly, put him through the windshield with a belly to belly. And then he's like, "That's not enough. Wake up, motherfucker." What do you say, motherfucker? Wake up. Drags her out of the back, throws him in the trunk. And finally Adam Pearce shows up, and they keep yelling, "Ease, that's enough." And he's like, "That's not enough for me." It was like, that's intense, dude. He looked
scary.
He looked like a pissed off bear. Like he looked mad. It was intense. It was good. I really enjoyed it. But Adam Pearce tells him, you need to go home and someone to find some keys to unlock this thing. Yeah. So there was our little dose of Adam tonight. So after commercial break, we get one of those Carmella mystery promos, which, the tattoo kind of gave it away, guys. Y'all couldn't have photoshopped that out or maybe put a little makeup over it, just
Yeah.
something. This is the days of the internet. Vince didn't even think about this, man. I guarantee you. You never even think about that sort of thing. It's a new age, man. Those little internet sleuths are going to catch you on just about everything. All right. So after the mystery woman promo, Carmella, we got our Samoan street fight. I'm not going to call it that. It's bullshit. We got our street fight. We get our no DQ tornado tag match.
Yeah. They didn't even take it out of the Thunderdome.
No, they didn't really do a whole lot of anything. This wasn't much of a weapon. They didn't really take advantage of the stipulation. Roman actually takes a lot of offense early on, and I was just saying, Paul Heyman must be really confused by having a client that eating that much offense and not just, and also the amount of time he works. He's like, Roman, we've been out here for longer than 5 minutes. Shouldn't we be getting back to the backstage and getting steaks by now?
Food's getting cold, Roman. Come on.
So, they put Jay down with a deep six on the outside, and they actually start working Roman over a little bit on the other side and throw him over the announce table. After they throw Roman over the announce table and they got Roman down, they get back on the inside and they put Jay through a damn table. It gives Roman a little bit of time to recover, though. When Corbin gets back on the outside, Roman throws a chair at him, but Sheamus jumps him. Roman gets back on top, though, and Sheamus gets him up on his shoulders and going to put him through the table, but
white noise.
Yeah, and Roman elbows his way out of it, kicks Sheamus right in the balls, and gives him a Samoan drop on the table, not through it, because that son of a bitch didn't break, and that honestly looked like it hurt a whole lot worse. Yeah. After the table doesn't break, though, eventually, he'll put Sheamus through the barricade with the spear, so Sheamus is effectively taken out of the match after that point. Corbin gets a little more offense in. Jay tries to attack Corbin, who throws him into the timekeeper area. But eventually Jay would grab the Universal title and hit Corbin in the head with it. Spear from Roman out of the corner. Splash from Uso on Corbin. 1, 2, 3. The cousins get the win. And, Uso kind of holds the belt up afterwards, looking at it. And Roman's kind of giving the dirty eye. And Uso throws it to him. It's like, I got you, man. Just messing with, and he's having fun trying to dance and trying to lighten Roman up. And Roman, looks like he breaks and starts smiling, man. He's like, it's my cousin. He's
enjoying the family moment.
Yeah, he's having fun. And they hug for a good long while and enjoy it for a while. But as soon as Uso gets out of the ring, he's like, come on, let's go, man, let's go. He keeps dancing down the ring, but Roman stays there, and Paul, the little devil, joins on the ringside, and his face and whole demeanor just turns to just pure hatred, just staring daggers at the back of Jay's head. And he looks over at Paul, who just kind of nods, like almost like giving the permission for the switch to be turned, to extreme violence or something. It was not a good thing, man. That affirmation did not bode well for Jay. But this has definitely made, Roman a lot more interesting than he's been in a long time. So
yeah, definitely. I am enjoying heel Roman. Tonight's
episode was really definitely one of those. We just need to get on to the next week and get closer to the pay-per-view.
Mm-hmm.
We can't, we've given enough away at this point. We can't give too much away before we get to where we need to go. So we just kind of got to pass some time tonight. Honestly, I was a little bored by tonight's episode. I wasn't really as engaged with it as I have been recently. So, I mean, I give this is kind of a C episode. If I'm having to give a letter grade sort of thing. I know it's not what we do here, but
yeah,
I feel it's just kind of middling.
The storylines weren't that great, pushed along either, and I don't know. All the matches are announced for SmackDown's championship, so we don't have enough to look forward to next week.
Yeah, Roman was the most interesting thing that happened. Alexa should have been the most interesting thing that happened, but we just got it was kind of a repeat of what we got last week. And even though God bless Cole tried to pry more out of it, the stonewalling, I don't know. I mean, it's like going back to the book analogy. It's like we begged our mother to read us a chapter of this book, and she read us a couple of paragraphs and was like, Mommy's got a fucking headache.
Yeah.
I'm going to go drink some more wine and sit on the dryer and think of Stamos. You go to sleep. All right, guys. Thank you so much for being here. We really do appreciate it. Please like, please share, subscribe, say hi to your mother for me. That content we've been promising them for 2 weeks. How's that coming along?
It's working.
Coming along. What ETA?
Within the next week.
All right, cool. And we're also going to shoot some more stuff for you tomorrow that we're going to have to take way too long to edit. So, cool. maybe. I don't know. Guys, super appreciate it. Be good. And we will see you guys on Raw.